So the best way to learn Unreal Blueprints, in my opinion, is to code it out in C++ as you're doing it so you can really understand it. Otherwise, things like for loops and stuff can get kind of confusing. So let's go ahead and create a new project. And I'm going to go with a Visual C++ console application. And I'm just going to name this play. And for me, I'm just going to navigate to my Visual Studio 2015 folder, projects, which is empty, and select it and just do all my stuff in there. I'll go ahead and normally, if you follow my data structures and algorithms video, I have you build out of an empty project. For now, we're just going to use their template. Now we're going to do a hello world in both Unreal Blueprints as well as Visual C++. So this is really for the absolute beginner. So in here, I'm going to go include, and I'm just going to include IO stream. And what this is this is a library of uh, input and output streams, so console output and console input, things like that. It's also for, we have a string formatting class that's a little bit more advanced. The next thing is I want to use, it says using namespace std, it's the standard library. So once we have that, let's start off with a very basic hello world. So cout, console output, and then we're just going to do hello world. And then I'm going to hit, I'm going to give myself a new line so that it separates it from the, there's a build that lets you, that says, press space to end it. So I'm going to hit Control F5 here and build that out. And you can see here we get hello world to our console output. So I'm going to fire up Unreal. All right, so I just created a new project in Unreal, a basic blueprint, an empty blueprint class. So really, it's just the when you go to File, New, and then you select Blueprints, you select Empty Project. That's what this is. So it's really an empty project. All it has is the standard contents. I went ahead and made a folder called Blueprints, which is empty. The way you create a folder is you right-click and create a new folder and you rename it. So let's go into our Blueprints folder, right-click, and we're going to create a new Blueprint class. We're going to use an actor. I'll explain all of this stuff later, but inside the actor it says an object that can be placed or spawned in the world. I'm going to click that, and I'm going to name it Variables BP for Variables Blueprint. Now, in order to make a variable when we play the game actually function, just like it said in the other thing, we have to drag and drop it in the scene. So let's go ahead and double-click Variables BP. What I'm going to do is dock it up here, and that lets us switch between the scene view and the variables view. So right off the bat, it shows you what it'll look like in the viewport. So notice that it looks the same here as it does here. The construction script actually runs before the event graph. So that's why this is here, and we'll use the construction script more later. And in the event graph here, it starts you off with 3 different begin states. So as an actor overlaps it, event ticks. So I'm going to hit these to kind of decrease the size of these. And then this is the one that we want to do. So as our game plays, or our project starts, we want something to happen. So let's take a look at how do we print hello world to the screen. So I'm going to right click and I'm just going to look for print. You can see we have print string, and they already started off with hello. So at the end of that, I'm going to hit space. I'm going to type world, hit enter. And to get this to play to the screen, all I have to do is expand this, make sure my duration, we'll do 5 seconds. Grab our execution node and drag it over here. So now when I hit compile and I press play, you'll see it print hello world in the corner there.